right, gather round everyone. You know, in this age of information, there's a topic we often overlook, yet it's so deeply intertwined with our existence: trauma. Ever stop to ponder its essence and how it grips our very being? Have you ever felt that weight on your chest, an unease in your soul, even when there's no apparent reason? Picture this. You're not just battling a memory, but an emotion, a sensation trapped right inside you. That's trauma for you. It isn't just about the mind, it's the body's tale too. You see, trauma isn't just a fleeting memory of that accident or the aftermath of a disaster. It's an intense emotional response, an invisible scar. Think of your body as a sponge, soaking up moments of sheer distress. And sometimes that sponge gets too saturated. I mean, who hasn't felt a gut-wrenching emotion and literally felt it in their stomach? Let's dive deeper, shall we? Imagine you're taking a leisurely walk in a park, and out of the blue, a stray ball hurtles towards you. Before you even process it, your heart races, right? That's your body reacting before your mind can. But here's the thing. If that sense of threat persists, our bodies can get stuck in this always alert mode. Your body, in essence, becomes a reservoir of distress, affecting everything: your mood, digestion, even sleep. Ever felt random aches or unexplained fatigue? Felt like your emotions were on a roller coaster? That could be your body's SOS signal, a cry for help from those trapped emotions. But there's hope. Ever tried mindful breathing? It's magical. A deep breath in, holding it, then a slow exhale. Such simple acts can be the bridge between trapped distress and tranquility. And if you're more physically inclined, let me tell you, there's nothing like a good run or a yoga session. The sheer act of moving, of letting go, it's therapeutic. Speaking of therapy, there's a world of methods out there. From the power of talk to even the rhythm of our eyes, there's a treasure trove waiting to be explored. Now here's something to ponder. Remember those moments when you were overwhelmed and you just let it all out? A good cry, penning down your feelings, or even painting. That's your emotional release. It's not just cathartic, it's necessary. And if there's one piece of advice I'd shout from the rooftops, it's this: never, and I mean never, underestimate the power of a listening ear, a shoulder to lean on. Friends, family, support groups, they're the lifelines in our quest for healing. You see, trauma release isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's personal, unique, a journey that's just as much about discovery as it is about healing. As we wrap up today, always remember, understanding trauma isn't just about the scars. It's about acknowledging, embracing, and most importantly, letting go. Now picture this, a space where we truly embrace the power of emotional release. It's a place where tears aren't a sign of weakness, but a testament to our strength, our vulnerability, and our human capacity to heal. I mean, imagine if we could just let it all out without judgment, without reservations. Kind of liberating, right? And speaking of liberating, let's talk about these amazing practices we have at our fingertips. Picture yourself stretching, reaching out in a yoga pose, feeling every fiber of your being waking up, shaking off that dormant distress. Or perhaps you find solace in the embrace of art, where a canvas listens silently, accepting of every stroke, every hue of your emotion. Picture your pent-up feelings flowing through that brush, forming a tapestry of not just colors but experiences, emotions, a manifestation of your inner world. And oh, let's not overlook those body-based techniques, those wondrous practices that can be likened to a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble to release the magnificent sculpture within. I'm talking trauma release exercises, folks. It's as if we're encouraging our bodies to shake off that cloak of distress, to literally shake off the burden and to breathe freely. Kind of poetic, don't you think? But wait, there's more. Dive deeper into the world of therapies, and you'll find ones that not just touch the surface but go deep, untangling the complex web woven by trauma. It's here that you find therapies that use the power of eye movements, unraveling distress layer by layer, guiding you through a garden of healing, where every turn helps you rediscover a part of yourself that was lost. Yes, we're venturing into the territory of therapies like EMDR, a beacon in the complex labyrinth of trauma. But friends, the journey of healing isn't a solitary one. We are social beings after all. Ever noticed how a simple conversation with a good friend can feel like a balm on a weary soul? That's the power of social connections, a gentle reminder that you're not alone in this. Reach out, share, laugh, cry, and even sit silently together. For sometimes the most potent therapy is understanding, being there, connecting on a level that goes beyond words. As we navigate this deep sea of understanding and healing, it's essential to embrace the notion that there is no one-size-fits-all. Just as we are unique, so should be our path to healing. We must grant ourselves the grace of personalized journeys, paying homage to our individuality and cherishing the pace at which we heal. And with this, we stand on the cusp of an ongoing journey, an adventure through the vast landscapes of understanding, caring, and healing. Ah, the paths to be trodden, the discoveries to be made, they are limitless, my dear explorers, boundless as the sky. So, as we part today, remember this isn't the end, but a beautiful beginning, an invitation to explore, to heal, and to rediscover the joy of being, with an open heart and a spirit ready to soar. Now let's go on a little journey. Have you ever thought about how, when we experience trauma, our minds and bodies sort of, they remember it? Picture this. Our body, this intricate masterpiece of nature, holds on to these traumatic memories, and just like an overstuffed closet, sometimes it needs a bit of decluttering. Can you relate? Ever opened your closet and thought, where did all this come from? Let's dive deeper. Imagine if we could create a sanctuary, not just a physical one, but an emotional fortress where we feel safe enough to unpack all our emotional baggage. This is the essence of a safe and supportive environment. Think about your happy place. Maybe it's that cozy corner of your room, or perhaps a conversation with a close friend where you can truly be yourself. It's all about feeling that safety, that cushioning, where you can let your guard down and say, all right, trauma, let's tango. Now here's a golden nugget for you. Self-compassion and self-care. During the process of this emotional unpacking, it's like you're an archaeologist of the soul, digging up old relics and memories. And my dear friends, it's imperative to be kind to ourselves during this dig. It's not about racing to the finish line, but gently pacing ourselves, recognizing our feelings, and savoring those moments of joy and relaxation. But here's a little food for thought. While some of us are exceptional DIYers, can we all agree that when it comes to something as intricate as trauma, maybe, just maybe, we might need a little professional touch? It's kind of like trying to fix a vintage clock. Sure, you could wing it and hope for the best, but isn't it reassuring to have an expert guide you, making sure all the gears fit just right? In conclusion, trauma, this enigmatic guest in our lives, has a knack for leaving its footprints on our psyche. But isn't it empowering to know that we hold the reins? That with the right techniques and a sprinkle of self-love, we can embark on this beautiful journey of healing. And remember, every journey is as unique as our fingerprints. But wait, I can see those wheels turning in your heads. Let's address the elephant in the room. What happens when trauma is stored in our bodies? Just imagine your body as a library, each trauma a book. Over time, these books pile up, affecting our very essence, sometimes making us feel like we're lugging around a massive backpack. And what does releasing this trauma feel like? It's like finally setting down that heavy backpack after a long hike. Suddenly the world feels lighter, brighter. Emotionally, it might be a roller coaster. But hey, who doesn't love a thrilling ride every now and then? A popular question I get is, where is trauma held? Now envision your body as a house. Some rooms, like our neck or back, might be cluttered with memories. Others, like our jaw or hips, might be holding on to secrets of their own. Isn't it fascinating how our bodies have their own storytelling techniques? Lastly, how do you get unstuck from trauma? Imagine if we could all have a magic wand to wave our traumas away. But reality check. It's not about magic, but about embracing a combination of therapies, patience, and most importantly, giving ourselves the grace to heal at our own pace. So, to all you beautiful souls out there, remember this journey of self-discovery, this quest to release trapped trauma, is not a sprint, but a marathon. And every step, every stumble is a testament to our resilience, our strength. And guess what? We're in this together. Now let's shift gears a bit. Picture this, a giant jigsaw puzzle. Each piece, a fragment of our experiences. Some are bright and colorful, representing our joyful memories. Others a bit darker, symbolizing our traumas. Have you ever thought about how intricate and interwoven each of these pieces are in the grand mosaic of our lives? We touched on the concept of trauma earlier, and I'd bet you've heard the phrase, "time heals all wounds." Well, in many ways that's true, but sometimes it's not just about the passage of time, but how we navigate through it. Remember that trusted guide we talked about? The one helping us navigate our emotional journey? It's okay to lean on them, just as it's okay to lean on a friend when you're hiking up a steep trail. In our shared exploration, that guide could be a therapist, a friend, or even the wisdom within us. Let's embark on a little thought experiment. Imagine if we could rewind our lives, re-experience our traumas with the knowledge and tools we have now. How differently would we cope? Interesting, isn't it? While we can't actually rewind time, we can reframe our experiences. It's like watching an old movie, but with a fresh perspective. Suddenly, scenes that once seemed scary or confusing make more sense, and we find closure in unexpected places. And while we're on the topic of movies, have you ever noticed how sometimes the most poignant scenes are the ones where the characters face their past, their fears, and come out stronger on the other side? Much like them, as we sift through the layers of our traumas, we're not just finding pain, but also resilience, strength, and a deeper understanding of our own story. Okay, pop quiz time. Don't worry, there's no grading here. Ask yourself, what's one thing you wish you knew earlier in your journey? Maybe it's the importance of self-care, or perhaps the value of seeking help. Now think about how this knowledge can shape your future. It's like having a compass on this journey of self-discovery. Speaking of journeys, they say the destination is not as important as the journey itself, and I wholeheartedly agree. Every twist, every turn, every stumble in our quest for healing brings with it invaluable lessons. It reminds me of a beautiful saying, "Stars can't shine without darkness." Our traumas, as dark and challenging as they might be, are also the backdrop against which our resilience, our true selves, shine the brightest. But what about self-care? It's become a bit of a buzzword these days, plastered everywhere from magazines to social media posts. But beyond the bubble baths and spa days, self-care is profound, almost sacred. It's about honoring the very essence of who we are. Let's think of our bodies as grand libraries. Every event, every trauma is like a book stashed away on a dusty shelf. As we grow older, these shelves become cluttered. Often these books remain unread, their tales forgotten, but they're there, carrying weight. So when we talk about trauma release, it's almost like dusting off these books, opening them up and revisiting their stories. Not to get lost in them, but to finally acknowledge, process, and find closure. Sounds transformative, doesn't it? Imagine if we treated our minds and souls just as we do our gardens. Picture your favorite garden, blooming flowers, buzzing bees, the serene sounds of a trickling fountain. But every garden also has its weeds. These weeds, much like our traumas, have a knack for popping up unexpectedly. They can overshadow the beautiful roses and lilies if left unchecked. Now, self-care practices and trauma release are our gardening tools. They help us tend to our inner garden, making sure the flowers of joy, love, and positivity get their chance to shine. Now, some might wonder, where in our body is trauma held? How does it manifest? Think about the last time you felt nervous. Remember that knot in your stomach or that tension in your shoulders? Our bodies have a language of their own. Just as joy might make us feel lighter, trauma can make us feel heavy and constricted. So when we talk about trauma being stored, it's not so much in a physical vault, but in these manifestations, these subtle signals our body sends us. Speaking of signals, remember when we used to watch TV with antennas? Sometimes all it took was a little adjustment to get a clear signal. In the same way, releasing trauma might require slight adjustments, a shift in perspective, a new coping strategy, or the insights from a trusted therapist. The point is to fine-tune our internal antenna, to connect deeper with ourselves, and to broadcast our own stories of resilience and hope. By now, you're probably wondering, what's the end game? Where's this journey taking us? Picture this, a life where past traumas don't dictate our present choices, where we are not tethered to old narratives, but free to write our own tales of adventure, joy, and growth. And while this might sound like a dream, it's a potential reality for all of us. It requires work, patience, and heaps of self-love. But let me tell you, from personal stories and countless tales I've heard, the destination is not only achievable but incredibly rewarding. So, the next time life throws a curveball or old memories surface, remember this conversation. Remember that within you lies an immense power to heal, to grow, and to transform. And isn't it amazing how our minds have such untapped potential? Now I want you to imagine for a moment, what if unlocking that potential was just a hypnosis session away? What doors could you open in just 5 days? I've seen firsthand the transformative power of self-hypnosis, and folks, it's genuinely awe-inspiring. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And if you're looking to take that step towards empowerment, understanding, and true transformation, I've got the perfect starting point for you. Visit the Self-Hypnosis Hub, where there's this incredible free 5-day video course waiting to guide you. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this. I always say that the universe has a funny way of sending us the tools we need at just the right time. Perhaps this is your time, so why not take the leap? Dive deep into the world of self-hypnosis, and let's discover together what wonders lie within. So until the next video, stay curious, embracing the wondrous intricacies of our own minds. Stay enlightened, nurturing a haven of understanding and compassion within yourself. And whether through tears or laughter, through understanding or exploring, and please stay tuned, for the captivating journey of self-discovery and healing is ceaseless, vibrant, and ever-evolving.